on, guys? Yes, I have returned, and I'm here to talk to you about the one, the only Assassin's Creed. Now, as a whole, Assassin's Creed 1 through 3, in my opinion, the best. Period. Along with Black Flags, it deserves its own special spot within the recommendation. Assassin's Creed 1 takes the spot for the introduction. Assassin's Creed 2 takes the part due to its huge expansion into the world, meeting the other assassins, seeing how everything is going, and among other things, along with an amazing storyline that I deeply enjoyed. Me having a brother myself, knowing that Ezio lost his brother and his father, his brothers and his father, due to the Templars moving into their territory, it struck a chord. It struck a chord. His younger brother, I am the older brother, so knowing the fact that your younger brother just got killed because of something you didn't even know about yet, was wow. Just story. And as I later on went along with the story more and more, keep in mind I never played Assassin's Creed One. I know, but I have seen the playthrough. It's really good. I enjoy it. It's really good. But going back to Assassin's Creed Two, I deeply this story. Whoever wrote Assassin's Creed Two deserve to be nominated for like a writers award or something. A writers award. You deserve it. Get it? Hope you enjoy it. Now, continuing. Assassin's Creed 3. It brought in the hunting aspect. Hunting was a huge part that played. The story along with it. I really enjoyed the story, like deeply enjoyed the story. I was emotionally invested in this. Connor helping out the American people from his British dad coming in trying to just trying his hardest. It seems like his dad brought these people in to make something, and then they just slowly separated and started doing their own thing. And so it takes him and his dad to track them down and start to kill them. The last dude left is saying he's on his side, so the dad has to betray the son and trying to keep his last guy alive to keep the mission going. But he ultimately kills him, and so on and so forth. But the part that got me in Assassin's Creed 3 was when Connor, that's the main character's name for Assassin's Creed 3, if you never played it, by the way, play it. He helps the Americans. This is the American Revolution. Washington, this is George Washington. George Washington gains information that his Connor's people are helping the British. George Washington sends his men to go correct the problem. Even though Connor has helped him and these are his people and he shouldn't have did it, he did it anyway. And now Connor goes off, kills them, but now he finds out his people is gonna ambush them, so then he goes off and he kills his own people because and I love this, he's made himself both the hero and the villain of this story. And at the very end of the story, at the very end, his people had to leave their land, and Connor's just left being an assassin, rebuilding it in America. I love that. It was just beautiful. How everything played out, it really just grabs hold of you. And how they introduce you. The There's an esteemed difference between they teach you the fighting combat as the father, as an experienced combatter. You're fighting. He's experienced, so that way you're getting the full-fledged combat with him instead of Connor just being like, "Oh, I'm just naturally good at fighting." No, you're learning it from the experience, and then you're learning the new hunting tactics from this boy who learned the hunting techniques. It was really good. It was really good. It was great. Really good. Now we're going into Origins. Origins Gladiator part I felt was this unique thing. Again, each Assassin's Creed had its unique thing. Assassin's Creed 1 was this introduction, especially Eagle Vision, in my opinion. Assassin's Creed 2, going down to Revelation, where you can command assassins. Even being inside the city, you can command an assassin to go get that person while you're fighting the Templars. It was basically gang wars. It's basically gang wars. Assassin's Creed 3 brought in hunting. Black Flags brought in, really, in my opinion, brought in the boat. Black Flags brought in the boat. And I almost left this one out. And I'm happy I caught this. Syndicate, right here. Now, I love what Syndicate did for itself. It brought in the Assassin's Creed 2 gang war, Assassins versus Templar aspect with the whole, okay, grappling hook. Basically, your gauntlet, it has more tricks. You have more things to do. Even though, in my opinion, the only real unique thing was that it had its ring to fight in. And when Origin came in, it had this gladiator thing, which was really different because, for one, you had in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, you fought barehanded, and I think unless you get the a special kind of fight, where you have to do, you get to use your weapons. But in Origins, you get to keep all your weapons and stuff. You get to keep your weapons and fight animals in the ring too. That was his special thing. Odysseus, it brought in more of his mythological thing. So did Origin. Origin brought in Egyptian mythological stuff because when I was playing Origins, this meteorite fell and I went to it and I just got the most OP weapon. It just fell from the sky and in my head I'm like, okay, I don't get it, but okay. I also went to this huge boss fight in the desert, and every time I would continue to go back there because I had no idea what it was, and I wanted to do it again. Once I was strong enough, I went there, and it just didn't happen. So I thought to myself, okay, weird. Now I'm looking at, as a whole, I'm looking at Valhalla. And as I am looking at Valhalla, I am thinking to myself, what is it really going to bring in Destiny? Now, I saw the gameplay. It brought in some customizations for your character. The tattoos and stuff. In my head, I'm like, okay, that's pretty dope, but what mechanics? Now, Corey X Kenshin, he said something about the game that he said specifically to his subscribers. You get to lead your army on basically raids. And the way I saw it, I was like, it's different from Syndicate and is somewhat similar to Assassin's Creed uh, Revelation because Ezio was able to order his men, but he had to order the ones who was around him, at that moment. And what appeared to be in Valhalla, you get to take them with you and get to go on raids. And in my head, I'm like, okay, that's kind of unique. It's kind of unique. But at the end of the day, okay, let's start with Origins. When they went to Syndicate, I felt as if, okay, this is good. They're going further. There are more buildings to climb, greater technologies to use, all kind of gadgets and stuff. I wonder what they could do next. When Origins, okay, this is cool. They went back. It's cool. When Odysseus, okay, went back again. Barely any buildings to climb. All I'm doing is hunting and swimming. You barely use the boats, real talk. Could we bring in like another Black Flags or something? You know? Now, I'm not gonna say bring in another Black Flags. Excuse me, it's like really, really late. You can probably tell at the bottom it's like 11:15 p.m. while I'm recording this. It's because I really want to get this video out. Assassin's Creed as a whole, yes, while brings in new things, there's subtle things like Origins. No, no, nah. What else say Syndicate? I'm thinking even back even more. No, it wasn't an Assassin's Creed story. So I have it being Syndicate. In Syndicate, it felt as if there were boss fights. You know, it felt as if it was boss fights, and now they're like categorizing you by level. Okay, you're a certain level here. You have to fight that boss there. Oh, okay, that boss has got a bigger level than you. You can't fight them. Mm. And I get that. That's been in it's been in Assassin's Creed, but sometimes you just feel as if you're a trained assassin. You should be able to take on practically anybody. Stories, Assassin's Creed's origin story, it was okay for what it was. It really was. It was okay. You're going around Egypt, you're helping people, but it didn't grasp me like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. It didn't want me to. It did. I didn't want to explore as much like I did in Assassin's Creed 3. And I don't know why. It was possibly because of Origins was, let's be honest, mostly barren desert. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful game. Pretty, pretty. But it just lacked, I think, buildings. Real talk. It was the buildings, man. It was the buildings. Honestly, whenever I play Assassin's Creed, I want to climb. Isn't that part of the Assassin's Creed thing? When you started off in the first one, and then Syndicate, you were climbing buildings like mad. Even in Jesus, Assassin's Creed 3, you were running trees on top of buildings. Why? And another thing I want to put into this before I go, you did a multiplayer for 3. I barely see, like, I played it, I believe, once. I ended up getting Black Flags, and it came with the multiplayer bonus for PS4. And I played it. I found like one person. Like, that's what I'm saying. I know people are like kind of battle royale out, but you want to know something I want to see? 100 people, let's say, drop in. Not even probably drop in, right? Not even drop in. They're Ubisoft. They can come up with some creative way, and instead of using guns, you use swords because it shows you're parrying, you're blocking, you're attacking. It shows that who's got the most skill. Not, oh, I have less recoil. Like, don't get me wrong, COD has skill, but Assassin's Creed, a battle royale with Assassin's Creed, yes, yes, that would be amazing. And then think on how much money they can make off of this. You've seen how Warzone is doing at the moment. Make certain characters or make cloaks and whatnot. And plus, think about it. Assassin's Creed is a fantasy game. Let's be honest, it's not real. It does have real world aspects, but as we've been going further and further back, it's been getting more mythical. So instead of like Modern Warfare, where, excuse me, camos can only go so far, okay, let's say you're wearing a cloak. It could be a dark matter cloak with rippling effect at the bottom or something like that. Something amazing. It could be like Assassin's Creed Origins, how they had his kind of cloaks looking all kind of weird, kind of mythical. Yeah, you can do that, but I don't know, man. It's just me spitballing. I do hope Valhalla does do good for what it is. I played Origins. I kind of got a little dulled out like midway through. Because when I was boss hunting, there was just this one boss that was way out the way. And I thought to myself, Why? I get it's to explore the game, but like if you don't have like a fast travel point near the boss, I honestly probably would not care. Like seriously, if you're gonna have a point where you're gonna challenge a boss, at some point the main character has to go through that way. At some point, sooner or later, he has to go through that way. Leave a fast travel there. Leave a fast travel. But yeah, that's all I want to talk about. Assassin's Creed 1 through really 1 through 3, Black Flags and Syndicate. Those were good. The rest are kind of meh because they're not really bringing in that much of a original thing. It's really not. Jack the Ripper in Syndicate, that was amazing. Bring in more stuff like that. But anyway, that's the video for the day. Until next time, bye.